Hey, welcome back to the Big Ranch Show. As always, thank you for joining me. If you could, hit that subscribe button down below and let's get right to it. Well, apparently, there are now enough votes in the Senate to vote on a bill that's been put forth by Ed Markey of Massachusetts. The bill would basically reverse the repeal of the Obama era net neutrality rules that were put in place that basically protected the consumer against extremely high prices on different services, or charging you more to access different services, or giving people preferential treatment because they enjoy having the ability to speed their connections up. That way your websites can't be viewed. A lot of people on YouTube and other content creators and things like that from other websites, even as well as companies like Netflix and Amazon and such, and Google, are all against this, a lot of this, and partly because it would block a lot of people out of their content. Like, they'd be able to break it up into packages and things like that, to where, oh, you want YouTube? Oh, well, that's an extra 10 or 15 bucks. They already do that with cable. We don't need to be doing that with our internet. But apparently, there are 13 co-sponsors to this bill, including Claire McCaskill, who signed on Monday, as well as you had Cory Booker and a few others, and that have signed on to this particular legislation. Ed Markey tweeted out yesterday that he now has the votes, the 30 votes needed to force a vote to the floor. There's no guarantee that this would pass because, as you know, most of the Republicans support this kind of thing, and so there's no guarantee. But it'll be close, especially if Doug Jones supports net neutrality coming from Alabama. It'll make it at least a close vote, because I believe most Democrats are on the record for saying that they support net neutrality and the rules that were in place are put in place back in 2015 by the Obama administration and the FCC back then. But anyhow, that's what's happened. Ed Markey got another co-sponsor with Claire McCaskill, and with all the others, they have at least 30 votes they need to force a vote. Of course, this doesn't mean anything will happen, but even if it passes the Senate, who knows? Because after it passes the Senate, for it to ever make its way to the president's desk, of course, it would have to be passed via the House as well. And I just don't see that happening. So don't expect a whole lot out of this. Don't expect this to be some saving grace for net neutrality. It's just a start, and at nothing else, it'll at least get people on the record, for how they, their feelings on net neutrality if they've kept it quiet to this point. And I think that's something that really needs to happen in Congress. I think it needs to be more open, more transparent, and I believe that, forcing votes on things that might make people have to, show their hand is actually a good way to go. Because I'd like to know whether they're Democrats or not, if they support net neutrality. Because to me, net neutrality is a very important issue. It's a very important thing. It's very important to my life because I'm sitting here on a internet platform from YouTube, trying to get my point of view across, be heard, and their new rules, once they're all finalized and everything's it's already pretty much finalized, but when it's all actually starts taking effect and companies start doing these things, it could affect me directly and could prevent my ability to put out videos, or heck, some of my few subscribers could actually end up not being able to see my content because their service provider doesn't like YouTube. And with some of the things that have gone on YouTube lately, with PewDiePie last year, Logan Paul at the first of this year, and such, I don't know how many ISPs out there feel they would want want YouTube on their network. The problem is, most of us aren't like that. Most of us aren't going to go off and try to pay people to hold signs that say certain things, or to go off and show bodies hanging like Logan Paul did. Most of us aren't going to do that. Most of us, we don't do that, and we're not going to. but it could create a problem for me in the future. And I hope that this bill makes it through. I'm just not going to hold my breath. And there again, the president's already proven that he doesn't know what net neutrality is. Therefore, I don't even know if he gets to his desk if he signs it. But anyhow, I just want to bring you that, let you know that's what's going on. Ed McCaskill. I keep saying this. I keep getting confused. I'm sorry. Ed Markey of Massachusetts says he has enough votes to bring this to the floor. And we'll see what happens. So watch this space. And I'll see you down the road.